Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ocean City for this USL League 2 conference semifinal clash between a couple of rivals as Vermont Green FC gets set to take on Seacoast United Phantoms. Mike Frankel and our BFA Sports crew alongside with you once again. Thanks for joining us here tonight. This is a conference semifinal national round of 16, and the winner moves on to next weekend's conference final, and then national final four game or semifinal after that. Starting lineups being introduced at midfield. Vermont Green FC, of course, in their green kits. Seacoast United Phantoms switching from the neon kits they wore the other night. They're in a light blue kit with white shorts and light blue socks. These two teams know each other very well. Division rivals, as we mentioned, in the Northeast Division. Seacoast winning the division this year, Vermont finishing third. This is the third matchup between these teams, with Seacoast winning the first two, 3-1 and 2-1. Starters tonight, first for Vermont Green FC. Well, it's the same starting 11 that Vermont put on the field in that 3-1 victory over Long Island a couple of nights ago. In net will be Jaheim Wickham. In front of him, Nathan Simeon, Sam Layton, Musa and D.A., Daniel Pacella, Jacob Leibovitz, who had a hat trick in that victory the other night, Nick Lockerman, Jackson Castro, Yaniv Bazzini, Zach Zenge, and Reed Fisher. So the same exact starting 11 that took care of the Long Island Rough Riders by a final 3-1 right here on Friday night. Vermont Green FC comes in with a mark of 10-2-2 overall. As for Seacoast United, a couple of changes to the starting 11 as the Phantoms come in with a mark of 14-1. Tobias John back in net. In front of him will be Harry Bertos, Isaac Heffis, Che Strine, Ibrahim Kandi, Tag Healy, Zemi Rodriguez, who scored the only goal in that victory over the Ocean City Nor'easters on Friday night, Terry Makadika, Bilal Hersey, So Nishikawa, and Cooper Nunn. So that's the starting lineup for Seacoast United, getting set to take on Vermont Green FC. As we talked about, third meeting between these teams, two in the regular season, as Vermont is looking for some revenge after losing both regular season matchups. Special shout out to everyone watching up at Vivid Coffee in Burlington, Vermont. Another nice watch party up there, and we're excited and thrilled to bring you more live action from Ocean City here tonight. So we'll get you set for the start of this one in just a moment, but first we pause for the national anthem. So just moments away from the start of this one, Vermont Green FC versus Seacoast United Phantoms. Of course, both of these teams winning on Friday night to reach this Sunday night matchup, this conference semifinal round. Vermont Green on some kind of a roll as they had to win a play-in game to even reach this weekend. And they are now playing 3 games in the span of less than a week. So something to keep an eye on there as well. But certainly tired legs shouldn't be a factor in a game of this magnitude. Captains meeting at midfield right now. A little bit warmer tonight in Ocean City, but not hot by any stretch of the imagination. Cool breeze blowing off the beach and the ocean to our right. And just a little bit more humid than the conditions we had on Friday night. time slot similar for Seacoast as they played the late game on Friday. And it's a little bit cooler, I guess, for Vermont, who had to play under the afternoon sun in that earlier start time on Friday night as well. So take a look at the referee and his assistants for tonight. Again, a nice contingent of Vermont Green FC fans, obviously making the trip down and then sticking around in the Ocean City area over the weekend, sporting their Vermont Green kits down to our right. Try to give you some shots of them throughout the night as well. Talked about it off the top. Same exact starting 11 for Vermont and a few changes for Seacoast United. As we get set to begin this one, it'll be Seacoast moving left to right on your screen, attacking toward the beach and boardwalk end of Carey Stadium. And Vermont Green moving right to left, attacking toward the Ocean City High School end of the venue here. Winner moves on to next weekend and the conference final. Referee checking with his assistants, setting his watch, and we are underway from Ocean City. Chested down by Seacoast early, and then kept in along the touchline by Strine. And it'll be an early throw in here for the Phantoms. They go quickly. Taking away that time by Ndie before he knocked it out. So another throw in here coming for Seacoast. Hefes switches fields in the back. Receives the pass again. Nishikawa out wide now. Had to go off the back of his heel, and Vermont takes over. Strine winning it right back for his club. Now it's the Phantoms on the move. They switch fields. They go out left. Healy flicks one into the box. Cross comes in, deflected in front. And Vermont heads the other way. Leibovitz plays it out wide, a little bit too wide that time. Looking for Castro. We mentioned it off the top. Leibovitz, hat-trick hero in the victory over Long Island on Friday night, a game in which Vermont trailed 1-0 in the late stages of the first half before scoring twice and taking a 2-1 lead in the halftime. And then that third goal coming very late, past the 90th minute to seal it. Pacella switches fields. Here's Lockerman, lays it off. All the way back to Ndie. Layton gets a touch in the middle. Lockerman serves one in, headed the other way by Seacoast. Vermont back on the ball, though. They switch it to Lockerman. Too tall for him, though. So it bounces onto the track. It'll be another throw in for Seacoast. Another throw in for the Phantoms. Ishikawa looking for options. Hersey plays it out. Condi into the middle, flicked up into the air by Fisher. Now headed forward. Vermont tries to bring it down to the turf. Leibovitz lays it off, and now taken over by Strine. Strine links up with Healy. Healy, top of the box save made that time by Wickham, diving down to his right. And Wickham tested early here. Do have a player shaken up, and now a yellow card is issued. That'll go against Vermont's number 18, Yaniv Bazzini. So an early yellow for Bazzini. So obviously something to keep an eye on there as Bazzini picks up the early yellow. Be a throw in on the far side of the field now for Seacoast. 3-1 victory in the first meeting between these teams for the Phantoms, then 2-1 in the second meeting. Lockerman misplayed out of the back and cleaned up nicely on the back end for Vermont. That ball last touched by Vermont, so another throw in for the Phantoms. Had about 5, 6, or 7 of these on this near touch line in this first 5 minutes or so of the game. Zenge hitting the deck hard, and now the card comes in there. And that'll be on Seacoast number 3, Harry Bertos.
Yellow card issued on Seacoast United number 3, Harry Bertos.
So now an early yellow card for both teams. That was a big-time collision right in the midfield there, as Zenge was knocked right off his feet by Bertos. 5.5 minutes in, no score early on here in this USL League 2 Conference semifinal. So Vermont goes short. And DA looking for some options here. Plays it out to the far touchline to Simeon. Vermont celebrating that 3-1 victory over Long Island with a dip in the ocean right after the game the other night. Right off of 5th Street here on the beach. Battle for possession along the far touchline. It'll be a throw-in for Vermont over there. Today's game brought to you in part by Tom's River Auto Group. Just a short drive up the parkway. Visit them online at tomsriverautogroup.com. Vermont on the ball. Ball's played wide to Castro. Can he get there in the corner? He does. Castro keeps it in. Lays it off to Lockerman. Now back to Pacella as Vermont resets here. This is Layton. Zenge had it poked away from behind. Ball goes right back to Sean Layton, though. Excuse me, Sam Layton in the midfield. Now taken over by Seacoast. And this will draw another yellow card here. That's 3 yellows issued in the first 7+ minutes. That one goes against Layton. And tactical foul there to slow down the counterattack. But the referee deems it worthy of a yellow.
Yellow card issued on Vermont Green FC midfielder number 4, Sam Layton.
So already 2 yellow cards issued to Vermont, 1 to Seacoast. And those players have to be a little careful here, certainly, the rest of the first half. And then we'll see if either coaching staff elects to make some changes. For now, a set piece, short to Healy. Right back out wide. Vermont trying to get on the ball after the clear attempt. Right back to Seacoast, though. Seacoast in the box now. Shot comes in deflected. Deflected by Fisher. It'll be out for a corner. First corner kick of the game to the Phantoms. Just over 8 minutes in. Tonight's game also brought to you by Metro Commercial, an industry leader in national full-service retail real estate brokerage and advisory services for 35 years. The company has been guiding retailers and property owners toward data-driven, retail-related real estate solutions. That's Metro Commercial. Looks like this is Rodriguez out on the far corner to tee this one up. With the right foot, curls it in right near the penalty spot, headed up into the air. Still loose near the edge of the box. And Zenge is clipped on his way to the ball as he goes down. That'll draw the whistle. So it'll be a free kick coming out for Vermont. Wickham sends it forward. Bazzini under it. Here's Castro. Plays it out to the right. Now gets it back. Castro turning in the midfield. Serves it out toward the left. It did get there after a deflection. Lockerman's on the ball. Here's Pacello. And DA kind of caught Lockerman in between on the short hop off of the turf. Bounces off of his thigh and out. Ishikawa by one defender, lays it off. Back heel off the mark. But Seacoast back on the ball. Zemi Rodriguez with space in the midfield. Plays it out to the left. Rodriguez scoring that goal off the bench the other night. Obviously in the starting 11 this time around. Now some space for Vermont in the midfield to work with. Green getting numbers forward. Castro sends a through ball. Diving Sab sent out. That'll be near the corner flag. It'll be a throw in though. As Leibovitz walks over to throw it. Just under 11 minutes in, 0-0 our score between Vermont and Seacoast. Looks like Leibovitz setting up a long throw in here as he's backed up onto the track. Sun setting behind him there as he comes in and launches one into the middle. Dangerous spot flicked out by John. John did well to get a hand to that. Simeon spinning. Still on the ball. Now he lays it off. Cross comes in, bouncing. John off his line. Went down on the play. Fisher says there was no contact. And the referee agrees as now he wants John to get to his feet here. Phantom's keeper maybe a little bit shaken up on the play. So here come the Phantoms out of the back now. Long diagonal ball, looking to the far touchline. Simeon got a touch. Couldn't get all of it, though. Bounces out. Back to Wickham. Has to retreat to his right. Wickham just sends it away. Brought down by Seacoast. And out to Nishikawa. Here's Heffis on the ball. Rodriguez checks to it. And now tackle one along the touchline by Castro. Castro comes away with it. Into the middle now. Leighton out wide. Simeon on the ball. Cross comes in a little bit too long for Leibovitz. And tried to save it for a throw-in. The ball did bounce over the end line, though, so it will be a goal kick coming out. Vermont just a couple of feet away from linking up there as Leibovitz had made that run behind the Phantoms' back line. But the ball played just a little bit too far out in front for him. Ishikawa with plenty of room now. Pokes it forward. Spinning is Healy. Healy out wide. This is Hersey. Low cross, handled easily that time by NDA. So we'll see if Seacoast United sets up a long throw in here. Heffis comes forward. Still looking for some options. Here comes the long throw from Heffis. Headed out for the moment by Vermont. And then all the way out. Sent back in. Cut out by the Green. Ball forward from Layton. Looking for Bazzini. Knocked down. Hersey able to keep that one in right on the touchline. And he gives it away. And DA over to Lockerman. Vermont plays it around the back for now. Tonight's game also brought to you by Josie Kelly's Public House in Summers Point. Stop into Josie Kelly's for a drink or a meal before, during, or after Nor'easter's home games. Vermont continues to possess here in the back. Patiently looking for a way forward. Lockerman, big ball over the top. Bouncing, and John will have no trouble with that. Shows off some juggling skills, and then he picks it up. And Seacoast moves the other way. Looking for Condi. Vermont back on the ball. Here's Rodriguez for Seacoast. Condi brings it down. And the offside flag is up on the near side of the field. And the referee wants to have a conversation with a couple players after this. And back underway quickly as Wickham comes out to take a touch. Vermont gets it right back. Over to Lockerman. And just lost track of the lines over there. Relatively simple ball to play. Just kind of lost track of where he was, and that ball rolls into touch. Nishikawa. He switches fields for Seacoast. Here's Bertos. Again, on that early yellow card. Knocked down Rodriguez to it for the Phantoms. Seacoast United, obviously out of New Hampshire. Both these teams traveling a significant distance come down Ocean City for the weekend. Usually these two don't have to travel all that far to play one another. But round 3 right here at the beach. Here's Heffis. Looking forward. And DA steps around. Phantoms back on the ball, though. They swing it over to the far touchline. Makadika moving backwards now. Another throw in for Seacoast. Tonight's live stream also brought to you by Shriver Saltwater Taffy and Fudge, 9th in the Boardwalk here in Ocean City. Nice ball to the far side, headed down to Makadika. Now it's Healy with some space, launches a shot, knocked down. Whistle stays silent. His shot soars over the bar. So goal kick coming out for Vermont. Again, two different games played by these two teams on Friday night. Obviously, Vermont scoring some goals in that first half after conceding, I should say. So coming from behind. Different story for Seacoast, as that game was 0-0 up until the 79th minute against Ocean City. Nishikawa comes back to clean up defensively for Seacoast. Be another throw in for the Phantoms. Just about 20 minutes gone by, 0-0 our score. Layton gets ahead to it, bouncing toward the touchline. Vermont forces the issue to keep that ball in. John way off his line to handle this one with the feet. Nishikawa out wide. Rodriguez finds a teammate out wide. It's Bertos. Back to Cooper Nunn. Strine plays it forward. Strine wearing the captain's band tonight. Flicked into the box momentarily and then poked out by Vermont. It'll be a throw-in for Seacoast. Heffis comes up to grab it. So I'll try to launch this one into the middle once more. Hand in the air. Headed by Vermont. Rodriguez gets ahead to it. Healy tried to sell that just outside the box. Referee wasn't buying it. So we play on, and then that pass just kind of caught Heffis leaning the wrong way, as Bertos and Heffis couldn't connect there. So a throw in for Vermont. Lockerman looking for some options. Too hard off the chest for Bazzini. And all the way into the 18. Simeon on the ball now. Back to Reed Fisher. Wickham again blasts this one forward. Nishikawa got a head on it. Vermont back on the ball. Here's Castro. Pacella now. Back to Layton. Plenty of space for Simeon out wide. Zenge turns. Pacella. Castro. For an opening here. Now it's Lockerman. That pass is deflected. Kind of a strange spin on it. Vermont plays it all the way back to Wickham, who's well off his line. Through ball, looking for Leibovitz. Just not the right angle there. And then Leibovitz hustling in as John took his time picking it up. And the referee wants to have a conversation with Jacob Leibovitz. And the referee setting the tone early, issuing 3 yellow cards within the first 7-8 minutes of this game. That one does not draw yellow, just reminding Leibovitz to use his head. His referee pointed 2 fingers to the head. Maybe a little gamesmanship from John as well. Again, these 2 teams know each other very well. Diagonal ball that time from Strine. Looking for a streaking Makadika. Instead, it's cut out by Vermont. Simeon sends it into touch.
Across the USL, including the latest highlights, scores, news, and exclusive chances to win.
Rodriguez makes a man miss. Plays it across to Nishikawa. Hefis. And Vermont forces another turnover there. Just about 25 minutes gone by now. Still 0-0 between Vermont and Seacoast United. Winner moves on to the USL League 2 Eastern Conference Final next weekend. Bouncing ball into the box. John again takes his time with it. Keep it on the ground this time. Over to Cooper Nunn. Seacoast finding some space. Nishikawa. Hersey into the middle now for Rodriguez. Vermont got a touch, not enough of it though. Seacoast maintains possession. Healy, little give and go. Healy trying to get there. Cross comes in. And a little bit of a tricky ball, but Wickham springs off his line to grab it. Knocked it down at first and kind of kept it right in the area where he could then pick it up. So a little bit of work to do for Wickham early on here tonight. He had an early save. Comes out to handle that one. Ball chipped over the top this time. Castro giving chase. Looks like he'll get there. Castro on the ball for Vermont. Looking for some help. Drills one into the middle. Seacoast United knocks it down. Cella trying to sell the foul there. Referee wasn't buying, so a throw in for Seacoast. And a misplay there as Condi couldn't cleanly play it back to Nishikawa. So throw in the same spot this time for Vermont. Castro to Leibovitz. Tries to go over the head of a defender. Battle for the ball in the midfield. Bertos gets to it. Looking for Condi, never got there. Reed Fisher on the scene. And he's grabbed from behind by Condi as those two go down after the whistle. Fisher helps himself to a few extra yards here after the play. And the referee says, let's go. Approaching the half-hour mark here in Ocean City. USL League 2 Conference semifinal. Leibovitz spins in midfield. Good link up in the midfield, all except that last touch there. As Castro wasn't able to touch it cleanly. Big goal kick here for the Phantoms. John plays it out to his left. Rodriguez now checks back to the ball. Knocked forward, but out for Seacoast. Chested down into the middle. Vermont on the ball here. Lockerman has to hustle to get that one. Layton tries to go over the top. Leibovitz on the ball now. Leibovitz looking for Bazzini. And good idea there. Bazzini maybe leaning the wrong way before making that run. It'll be a goal kick here for Seacoast. And pretty decent crowd on hand here tonight, all things considering. Obviously, the Ocean City Nor'easters not in this game, but decent crowd in front of our broadcast position. Certainly more Vermont supporters in the stands than Seacoast supporters, as Vermont's on the ball now. And that ball out wide. Zenge looking for a teammate there. Didn't see the blue shirt in the area. Zenge gives chase. Referee continues to try to set the tone here. And Layton's got to be careful. He's already on a yellow, and now he's getting a talking to from the referee. Flicked on. Fisher back the other way. Pacella. Both teams battling for possession along that far touchline. Zenge had it for a moment. Lost it out, but last touch by Seacoast. So it looks like Vermont wants to set up a long throw in from the other side of the field. Leibovitz back onto the track, Carey Stadium. And we'll see if he launches this one into the box. He does. And cleared by Seacoast. Headed right back in, though, by Lockerman. Headed down. Took a little deflection in there, too. Again, not a lot of pace ultimately on that ball as John able to cover up. So Vermont without a shot on frame. They've had a couple opportunities, though. Creating some havoc in the box. That was a low liner of a punt, and Vermont's back on it. Pacella looking for options. Finds Leibovitz. Leibovitz chips one out to the left, looking for Castro. Castro hustling to try and get there, and he won't. So goal kick here for Seacoast United. Phantoms coming to this one 14-1. Vermont Green FC 10-2-2. The only two losses this season coming to Seacoast. Goal kick crosses midfield, headed on by the Phantoms. But now it's Vermont back on the ball. Again, trying to look for Castro over the top. He wasn't ready to make that run. Ishikawa cuts it out for the Phantoms. Back to John. Just comes out and blasts this one. Lofting near the midfield line. Healy trying to get there. Instead, it's Simeon. Now taken over by Seacoast. Seacoast moving some numbers forward on the run. Sliding challenge. Makadika still on the ball. Laid it off. Nobody home. Now Vermont moving the other way.
You can't watch the soccer match? Turn on Sirius XM XC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern.
Vermont trying to work its way out here under some pressure in the back. Lockerman looking for Leibovitz. Never got to him. Back to Nunn. Cooper Nunn distributes to the left. Rodriguez with some space right near midfield. Over to Strine. Strine, one more. Nishikawa. Poked away that time by Castro. Phantom still on the ball here. It's Hersey. Overlapping run. Drills one. Stays in. Another cross attempt blocked. Leibovitz had to get rid of that as that ball is about to spin out. And just knocks it forward. Nobody making that run for Vermont. So possession right back to the Phantoms. Just about 11 minutes to go here in this first half, plus stoppage time. We have not seen any significant stoppages. A couple cards issued, 3 in fact. Referee talking to some players on some other occasions. Back to John. Here's Nunn. Now wide, Bertos. To Condi, and then out wide to Makadika. Makadika, good build up here from Seacoast before Fisher comes over to handle that one. Ball bounces actually out of Carey Stadium onto 5th Street over there. It'll be a throw in for Seacoast. So the Phantoms setting up a big throw from the far side of the field. The other ball is back in the stadium. Heffis onto the track. Now he launches one across. Headed out for the moment. Healy trying to maybe time that volley. Missed it and then commits the foul. Those balls supremely difficult to try and knock right out of the air that time. Healy didn't get much of it, if any of it. And then he commits the foul. Under 9 minutes to go in the half now, plus stoppage time. Phantoms with some token pressure up top. Wickham sends this one forward. Has some players up there. Leibovitz gets the head on it. Still up in the air. Now headed back the other way by the Phantoms. Leighton. Pacella over to Lockerman. Castro had it knocked out. Throw in coming here for Green. Back to Lockerman. Tight quarters there. Just sets up another throw in here. We'll see if they bring Leibovitz over to take this one. Might be close enough for a long throw into the middle. Looks like it is. Again, Jacob Leibovitz, hat-trick hero in the victory the other night. 3-1 comeback win over Long Island Rough Riders. Sets up for a long throw here. On a line, flicked on. One-on-one near the back of the 18. And here comes Seacoast out the other way on the counter. Makadika trying to get to that long touch. Knocked off the ball. Throw in coming here for Vermont. And a handful of Green supporters have been on their feet throughout. Along the railing here under our broadcast position. A couple dozen more seated. Bazzini had it roll under his foot. Green back on the ball, though. Trying to go through. Didn't get there for Leibovitz. Ball deflected and out. It would be a throw in here for Seacoast. Phantoms go all the way back to John. Got under that one a little bit. Referee says Pacella can't go under the opposing player there. Looks like Nishikawa will handle this free kick. Into the middle quickly. Back to Nunn. Now over to Bertos. Rodriguez checks to the ball once more. Plays it forward. Cut out by Simeon for the moment. Had more defending to do. Out for a throw. Approaching the 40-minute mark here in Ocean City. 0-0. Nice turn near the edge of the 18. Shot comes in. Did it take a deflection? Is the only question. It did. So it'll be a corner kick. Phantoms with an opportunity here off of the set piece from the near side of the field. Looks to be Healy standing over it. Looks like he'll serve it across with the left. Two hands in the air. Left-footed, floating right into the middle. Dangerous ball. Seacoast got a head on it, down into the turf, but then it bounces a little bit high and wide. It'll be a goal kick for Vermont.
Fans, the USL Super League is set to kick off in August 2024. The new league will bring the highest level of professional women's soccer closer to home for fans across the country. Go to USLSuperLeague.com to learn more.
Wickham taking a moment here before he puts it down for this goal kick. See how aggressive both sides want to be here in the late stages of the first half. This is where Vermont did its damage the other night, going from 1-0 down to 2-1 up at the half. Flag comes up as that ball just rolled out. Nishikawa looking for some options. Did well to move forward, knocked out again by Vermont. Quick throw into Healy. Tries to switch fields. Simeon making that difficult. Bouncing ball on the turf over there. Kept in by the Phantoms. Here's Strine. Hersey with some space. Flicks it forward. And that was NDA coming over to clean up. A little bit of ping pong in the middle now. Vermont back on the ball. Play it safe and go backwards for the moment. NDA with a touch. 3 minutes to go in the 45 plus stoppage time here in this first half. Winner moves on to the USL League 2 conference final next weekend. Lockerman. And DA taking the space he's given for now. Plays it out to Pacella. Vermont just kind of creeping forward here with possession. Back to Wickham. Now Wickham wants to go big. Again, Vermont has some bodies up there. Headed up into the air by Bazzini. Before it's knocked back up into the air by Seacoast. Nishikawa moving forward now. Into the middle. Laid off for Condi. Back to Nishikawa. And on his back, so he plays it wide. And did that ball go out? It did. So a few unforced errors from both teams in this first half. Some balls that really could be kept in, kind of trickling out for throw-ins. We've seen it on the near side of the field a couple times. We've seen it on the far side of the field a couple times. And DA roving forward now. Trying to curl one around. Too much pace on that one. Looking for Leibovitz. before NDA retreats to his fullback position. Now Nunn and the Phantoms creeping the ball forward here. Big diagonal ball that's well behind. Looks like Makadika on the far side of the field. It was. Good 10 yards behind him. Another throw in here for Vermont. Last minute of play plus stoppage time here in this first half in Ocean City. Hersey and DA coming up to get a touch on that one. Bouncing ball. Back to Strine. Strine moving backward. Plays his keeper, John. Looks like the indication is 1 minute of stoppage time as we approach 45 on the clock. See if either team has a chance in these waning seconds of the first half. A lot of contact in the midfield there. We play on. And Vermont's Lockerman got a touch on that. Whistle goes against him, though, as he brought down Condi in the process. And this will be a set piece for Seacoast here. Be from about 34 yards out or so, right near the touchline. So obviously to the extreme left of Wickham. But maybe an opportunity to get something going here before the half. We're in a stoppage time. Again, we were told 1 minute. So this could be it. As Healy rolls the ball forward a little bit and in. And now the linesman comes in and tells him to move it back. So it's about 30 yards out. Again, right from the touchline there, as you see. So Healy getting ready to send one in with the left. Healy curls a low ball in. Not cleared all the way. Nishikawa just kind of fluttered that one wide to the far post. And you'd think that after this goal kick, we might see the first half whistle. And there it is, before the goal kick. So 0-0 at the break in this derby between Vermont and Seacoast United. Nothing settled so far. A lot to be settled in the second 45. Stay with us. We'll step aside for a few moments. Back to bring you what should be an exciting second half from Ocean City after this. Welcome back to Ocean City. Just about set for the start of the second half here between Vermont Green FC and Seacoast United Phantoms. 0-0 at the break in this derby between these two rivals from the Northeast Division. Seacoast finishing first in the table, Vermont third. Third meeting of the season between these teams. And Vermont seeking its first victory in this 2024 season series. Mike Franklin, our BFA Sports production crew, with you once again. Again, a special hello to everyone watching in the watch party up in Burlington, Vermont at Vivid Coffee. Thanks for following along all weekend long. And we should have an exciting 45 minutes, maybe more here from Ocean City. Not a lot between these teams. Depends how you define a chance. Weren't really a ton of shots on goal in that first half, but certainly some chances for both teams. And we'll see if the pace and action picks up a little bit more here in the second half as stadium lights take over here in Ocean City. Again, a cool, comfortable night. Humidity dropping a little bit as the sun goes down. If you're just joining us, obviously, as a look at the fans there. Again, some supporters making the 6-hour trek down from Vermont. And obviously, if you're joining us late, Vermont in the green kits, Seacoast United Phantoms in the light blue and white kits. So Seacoast will be moving right to left, attacking toward the Ocean City High School end of the stadium in the second half. Vermont left to right, attacking toward the beach and boardwalk end as we're underway here in this second half. Long ball quickly headed back the other way by Simeon. Brought down near the edge of the box. Fisher knocked that one right off his head. Simeon then sends it out. This ball knocked back the other way. A little collision here. Wickham well off his line. And really the angle was not there in the end for the shot. A little bit of a nervy start to the second half, though, for Vermont. Ends up being a goal kick. So we'll bring you any changes as we spot them. Again, any halftime changes are not necessarily communicated up here to the press box, but if we spot any, it certainly looks like both teams sticking with their starting 11s. Some Vermont players starting to stretch down by the green bench as Wickham sends this ball off of the goal kick. Teams battling forward in the air. Condi brings it down. Healy claims he was clipped from behind that time. No whistle. We play on. Healy trying to shake off a little bit of a knock there. That ball stays in along the far touchline. Knocked all the way back to John. John didn't hit that cleanly. Volley comes in. Not a bad idea that time. Couldn't keep it down, though, was Bazzini. As John mishit it. Was a little slow then getting back to his line. This ball sent out toward midfield. Condi couldn't break it down, so possession here to Vermont. 3-1 and 2-1. The score in favor of the Phantoms in the first two meetings between these teams. Long ball into the opposite box. John handles it once more. Long ball to Condi. Keeps it in. Bouncing ball toward Fisher. Heads it out. Healy gets ahead to it. Phantoms on the ball. Bertos on that yellow. Vermont has two players on a yellow. Fisher sends this one skyward. Again, didn't hit that properly. Headed forward by Bertos. And DA cleans up. Bazzini touches it forward. Bouncing ball. Headed back by Nunn to John. John will just keep it on the turf. Today's game brought to you in part by Orozco Orthopedics. Live limitless with Orozco Orthopedics. Robotic hip and knee replacement with personalized care. That's Orozco Orthopedics. Quick throw in on the far side from Seacoast. Rodriguez chests it down over the head of Condi that time. And all the way back to Wickham. And DA ball on his foot. Sends it forward. Same exact starting 11 that Vermont used in the 3-1 comeback win over the Rough Riders of Long Island on Friday night. Remember, Vermont having to win a play-in game over Reading just to get here to Ocean City this weekend. That was a thrilling 1-0 victory in the rain up in Vermont last week. Simeon sets up a throw in here. Straight up the line, flicked backward by the Phantoms. Nunn, ball on his foot, just sends it forward with the left. And DA, strong header the other way. It's a big bounce off the turf. Bazzini, another big header. Check that. This is Bazzini. Brings it down off the chest. Lays it off to Layton. Layton flicks a ball. Headed out for the moment. Rodriguez gets to it for Seacoast United. Now back to the green. Some space out wide here for Castro. Castro, lefty cross to the backside. Bazzini right back across. And goes out for a goal kick. Not sure Bazzini knew how much space he had there. Could have potentially brought that ball down. Tried to go right back across, but no one crashing from that far side for Vermont. Just about 5 minutes into this second half, we are scoreless. Chipped into the middle for Strine. Did well to bring it down and spin out of trouble. Near side now for Bertos. Makadika back to Strine. Strine trying to go over the top, and DA not having it. And that ball played a little bit wide, kept in nicely, though, by Zenge. Phantoms go back to John. Nishikawa trying to maybe link up with Condi. Played it wide of him. Possession back to the green. Bazzini maintains possession in the midfield. Taken right back by Nishikawa and the Phantoms. Last touch by Vermont. A couple of players continue to warm down to our right for Vermont. All the reserves seated right now for Seacoast United. Bouncing ball over here toward the near side of the field. Zenge. So that'll be a whistle against Strine and Seacoast. And the referee wants to have a little conversation with the captain, Chase Strine. Trying to go through the back of Zenge a little bit, as Zenge was just trying to shield that one out right in front of the Phantoms bench. So Fisher spots it. Thought about playing it across. Now Wickham pushes him forward. Big diagonal ball from the keeper. 50-50 ball in the air, won by the Phantoms. Wickham had to hustle back into net as that ball was bouncing in no man's land at midfield for a moment. Vermont still on the ball, though. Back to John. John has to just get this one away. And DA again comes up to make a play. And ultimately headed out of bounds there by Pacella. Seacoast United, the only team to beat Vermont this year. They did it twice. Green draw foul there. Here's Simeon now. Back to Fisher. Comes the pressure. Fisher maintains possession. Good poise under that pressure. Simeon, though, trying to dig his way out. Phantom squeezing even more. Fisher just has to turn it upfield. Leibovitz got to head to it. Played forward. Spun toward the opposite side of the field and then headed back to John. Just about 9 minutes into the second half. Still no score. 0-0 between Vermont and Seacoast United. This is a USL League 2 conference semifinal. Winner moves on to next weekend's conference final. Big ball ahead looking for Makadika. Condi gets to it. Condi near the corner of the 18, turns. Squares it. Rodriguez has some space. Rips a shot deflected, and it should be a corner kick. It is. Rodriguez had the only goal of the game in the victory over the Ocean City Nor'easters for the Phantoms on Friday night. Came late in the 79th minute. It came off of a set piece. Ball that was drilled off of the crossbar. And then Rodriguez was open in the box to knock in the rebound. So another set piece here. This one a corner kick, though. As Healy walks over to take it. Looks like he'll serve it across with that left again. Two hands in the air. Healy bending. Headed out toward the far side. Rodriguez is there for the Phantoms, and he'll just let it bounce out. So Seacoast United can use that long throw in here if they elect to do so. This is Isaac Heffis to handle things along the near touch line. Heffis floats one near the near post. Still loose in there on the deck. Still loose. One player for Seacoast. Now it goes across Rodriguez. And that was last touched by Vermont. Vermont had about 4 or 5 players around one Seacoast player. But at the end of that scrum, Rodriguez was able to get a shot. Looked like it was ticketed for that far post. It was deflected out. So we'll do this corner kick again. It's Healy. Again, sends it across with the left. And that one curls all the way through. Condi had risen for it. But it bounces off the turf and out for a goal kick. Now some players for the Phantoms warming up, along with several players for Vermont. So we could see a change or two in the next 5-10 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that. We're 10 minutes in. Make it 11 minutes in to the second half. And you start to wonder about some tired legs maybe from both teams with a quick turnaround. Again, Fisher wins the better of that challenge. A lot of poise coming out of the back. Leighton plays it back. Check out, that was Heffis playing it back to John. Here's Strine. Holds off a couple of challenges. Now Vermont squeezing a little bit up top. Phantoms find some pockets of space here. Makadika. And that was last touched by Vermont, by Simeon. Referee moving Bertos back. Again, Bertos on a yellow. Leighton and Bazzini on yellows for Vermont. So 3 yellow cards in the game. All were issued in the first 6-7 minutes of this contest. Played into the middle. Here's Healy. Zenge gets to it. Flicks it out wide. And Castro just couldn't get his chest to that ball. They get a little more pace on it than he anticipated. Skips off the turf and out. Nishikawa. And all kinds of room now along the near touch line. Bertos keeps it on the deck. Condi a good spin in front of Fisher. Fisher got a foot on it, though, and won that challenge. Pacella laid it off. Had to hustle to get back to it. Simeon giving chase. Instead, it's dug out by Bertos. Bertos spins. He's going the other way. Wins a challenge, plays it through. Makadika, offside flag stays down. Makadika into the box. Pulls it to his left foot. Shot, save made. Wickham. And it goes out for a corner. A little bit of conversation, actually, which is why I hesitated. It seemed like a clear corner. Wickham contesting that it took another deflection off of Makadika and out. And now the referee goes over to talk to his linesman. But Wickham, a big-time save there. Made a big stop in the first half. And it will indeed be a corner kick. Or no. It seemed like the referee was pointing toward the corner, but maybe he meant to point toward the 6-yard box because this is a goal kick. Beg your pardon. So Wickham wins that argument. He won that play as well. Big time save from the Green keeper. Headed back the other way by Seacoast. One in the midfield by the Phantoms. Out wide, Makadika just made that run from the left side. This time he lays it off to Condi. Condi through to Heffis. Heffis wide open in the box. Plays it back across. Condi, sliding challenge made, and that shot is blocked. Good defending at the last second that time by Pacella. Rodriguez lets it roll to Heffis. 1 hour gone by here. No score in this playoff derby between Vermont and Seacoast. Strine out wide. Back to Cooper Nunn. Now Strine once more. Nishikawa along the far touchline.
USL League 2 on Twitter. To become a League 2 League insider, join club conversations and track notable
back to
alumni
Nunn.
through their pro careers.
Sustained possession here from Seacoast United. Phantoms with a couple of corner kicks in the last few minutes or so. Still no goals to show for it. Now a run made. And that was Simeon coming in on the back end. That was a dangerous ball that was played across, and Simeon was fouled as he kind of sold out for his team there. Sacrificed the body to come across, knew he was going to take one. Certainly wasn't malicious, but Simeon coming from behind there knew he was going to be in some danger, but he had to make that play. So free kick here to Vermont. Looks like the first change of the game we might see will be Gabe Threadgold from Vermont, who's not quite at midfield, but he's loosening up and receiving some instructions right now. Vermont wins it along the far touchline, ultimately played back to John, though. Threadgold coming on in the second half of that victory over the Rough Riders for Vermont on Friday night. Bertos for the Phantoms. Pulls it back. Plays it back to Nunn. And Nunn will switch fields. Big ball over the top. Condi on the back end brings it down. Condi rips a shot. Had an opportunity there, but well off the mark. Condi snuck behind two Vermont defenders. Was able to bring that ball down efficiently, but couldn't put it on frame, as now we will have that change. It'll be Gabe Threadgold coming on, wearing number 44 in green.
Substitution for Vermont Green FC. Into the game, number 44, Gabe Threadgold.
So Threadgold is on. Jackson Castro to the bench. First change of the night. Goal kick, booted across midfield. Rodriguez, first touch. He's able to hold off Threadgold. And DA on the scene here for the Green. Kicks it up the far touchline. Phantom's back on the ball, though. Dangerous ball rolling. They play it back to John. Headed down that time by Pacella and out. Both of these teams facing a long road trip home after this one tonight. Question is, who's going home happy? Nothing decided yet. 0-0 our score through 64 minutes here tonight. As Vermont plays it back to Wickham. Wickham again sends it forward. Leibovitz got a head on it. It was almost like he was expecting someone to be out there, but nobody home for Vermont. Bounces onto the track. Here comes the squeeze up top. And Vermont takes it in the midfield. Pacella. Bazzini trying to split a pair of defenders, and he was the one committing that foul in the end. As the Phantoms were able to establish position there. It looked like that was Strine. So Bazzini had a little sliver of room there, but it closed pretty quickly. And then he commits that foul. A couple players shaken up on the play. Looks like Bazzini got the worst of it. He tries to work off that knock. Referee checking on Yaniv Bazzini. And then he's helped up there. Back underway here as John plays it out. Nunn chips it far side. Heavy touch there, but Nishikawa able to recover. Hersey played it back into the middle. Rodriguez in the middle, gives it back. Hersey trying to spin out of some trouble and gives it away. Right back, though. Phantom's back on the ball once more. Bertos over to Healy.
Is the proven pathway for players to progress to the professional ranks of soccer. Along the way, it will become a staple in your community.
Ball over the top that time. Strine says, my bad. Nobody home there. No problem for Wickham. Wickham had to make a save in the first half. Made a big stop just about 5-6 minutes to go in this one. We had John credited for one save at the half, but hasn't had to do as much. Strine lays it off after the challenge from Leighton. Fisher steps up, plays that one forward, no one home, and it trickles near the edge of the 18. Big ball over the top, looking for Makadika, and he won't get there. Just too much on that one. Simeon was there defensively anyway. He'll look to throw this one in. And DA back to his keeper, Wickham. Rodriguez heads that back the other way. Makadika gets a touch. Condi knees it forward. Healy in the box, sends it across. Headed out for the moment. Rodriguez brought it down, laid it off, and that's a penalty. Referee points to the spot as Rodriguez got there and then was chopped down just inside the 18. And normally anywhere else on the field, that would be advantage, but not there. That's a penalty. So you see Rodriguez shaking up a little bit at the end of things. And Vermont pleading their case, but certainly seemed to be a clear penalty. So golden opportunity now for Seacoast United as Ibrahim Kandi places the ball at the spot. Kandi versus Wickham. As Kandi has a chance to put his team in front. Here we go. Kandi at the spot. Steps up and buries it. And with that, Seacoast United takes a 1-0 lead. Ibrahim Kandi converts the PK, first goal of the night. And with just about 20 minutes to go, the Phantoms are in front. So we'll take another look here. Kandi, great poise from the spot. Wickham guessing the right way, just couldn't extend in time. And that's a near perfect PK right into the corner. So just like a couple of nights ago, Seacoast takes a late lead. This one coming about 10 minutes earlier than on Friday night. First goal of the game was in the 79th minute. This one comes called the 70th minute. For Vermont, the Green have been here before, albeit in the first half, but they came from behind to win on Friday night. Question is, does Vermont have another comeback in it tonight? 20 minutes plus stoppage time to work with. So we have a big throw in from the far side of the field from Leibovitz. Leibovitz headed out for the moment by the Phantoms. Flicked on to Kandi. 2, now 3 players forward as Vermont recovers. And that was Threadgold playing it back to Wickham. So Vermont has to change the tactics, change the approach a little bit here. Be more on the front foot. Right now it's the Phantoms on the ball. Sliding challenge, won that time by Layton. Remember, he's on that yellow, so he had to get that right. He did. Seacoast United goes back to John. Rodriguez in the middle. So Rodriguez playing a key part in certainly the goal the other night as he scored that goal, but the goal here tonight, drawing that PK. Again, if you're a Vermont fan, maybe you have a little bit of room for discussion with that one, but from a neutral perspective, seemed relatively straightforward. Here's a throw in for Bertos. Again, Seacoast yet to make a switch in this game. Just one change so far for Vermont. Kandi did well to maintain possession there. Makadike along the touchline. Heading toward the corner. Maybe trying to draw a corner here. He cuts it back, though. Out to Bertos. Plays it across with the left. Brought down there by Strine. Ishikawa kind of got caught between a shot and a cross that time, and now we'll see some more changes for Vermont. So Shore Drexler, one of the players checking in, wearing number 55. Little uniform discrepancy. I believe that is Mohammed Ibrahim wearing number 11, if memory serves from the other night. Listed as 34 on the roster we were given. Players coming off. Zach Zengay. And it looks like the night is also done for Nathan Simeon. So Zenge and Simeon out, Drexler, and I believe Ibrahim in. As we have about 16 and a half minutes plus stoppage time between these teams. And DA headed back the other way by Seacoast. Lockerman got a touch along that left side. And it'll be a throw in here for Vermont. Pulling bodies forward now. Trying to set up a header in the box here. Looks like that's what Vermont's thinking is as Leibovitz goes over to launch one across. Leibovitz, the hat-trick hero on Friday night. He'll be trying to assist on a potential equalizer here. He's got a lot of ground to cover on this throw-in. Gets it into the middle, bouncing ball. That was a dangerous spot toward the near post, but John takes it cleanly off the bounce with really nobody in the area. John rolls it out quickly to Bertos. Bertos, big ball over the top. Condi got behind one defender. Drexler came back to head it back to his keeper, though. Still no changes for Seacoast. Starting 11 going about 75 minutes so far. Battle for possession in the midfield. It's Layton. Layton lets one rip and just leaned back the last moment. Sent it way over the bar. Goal kick taken by John. Working on another clean sheet so far here tonight. Of course, he had one Friday against Ocean City in that 1-0 victory. Condi on the move, plays into the middle, back to him. Now he goes out wide. Hersey still working over there against Drexler. Hersey gets the step. Tried to lay it off, knocked out. And it'll be a corner kick. Vermont contesting that it deflected back off of Hersey. Referee says no. And we have another corner kick. Healy walking over to take it again for Seacoast. Phantoms trying to stretch the lead here. Sent across by Healy. Headed out for the moment by Leibovitz. Nishikawa. Back the other way. Healy. Open. Plays it across. Condi scores again. It's a brace for Condi and a 2-0 lead for Seacoast United as the Phantoms can now see a trip to the conference final on the horizon.
Goal scored by number 9, Ibrahim Condi.
So one from the penalty spot, one in the run of play. Take another look here. Cross comes in right on the money to Condi. And Healy was almost the forgotten man after that action just moments earlier. He came in unmarked from the wing. And now a steep uphill climb for Vermont. So now we'll see our first change of the night for the Phantoms. It'll be number 7, Alfred Bafi, who came on the other night as well. He is replacing Bilal Hersey. Looks like we may see Ryan Combs shortly for Vermont as well, but not yet. So now Combe is standing in midfield, and we won't see him yet. So next whistle for Combe. 2-0 lead. Both goals coming in the last 9 minutes. Phantoms back on the ball here. Rodriguez thought he won that challenge cleanly. Draws the whistle, though. Fisher looking forward. Chips one over the top. Headed back out the other way. Phantoms back on the ball. Lockerman couldn't keep that one in. It'll be a throw in for the Phantoms. Now we will see that change for Vermont. Ryan Combe set to check in. And he will be on for Lockerman, who exits on the far side of the field. So Combe for Lockerman.
For Vermont Green FC, number 17 into the game, Ryan Combe.
And Vermont certainly has to send some numbers forward now. Throwing along the far touchline. Looks like a handball over there. That is the call. Here's Layton moving forward. Layton has to curl one over the top, a little bit too far that time for Mohamed Ibrahim. Who's then knocked to the deck by John. Ten minutes to go in this one, plus stoppage time. 2-0 our score. It was 0-0 at the half. 0-0 through about 25 minutes of the second half. But a penalty kick opened the scoring. And then Condi doubled up off of the assist from Healy. Two changes upcoming here for Seacoast. We have number 11, Samuel White, who was in the starting 11 the other night. He'll be coming on, as well as Alessandro Franciosa, who came in off of the bench a couple of nights ago as well. And it looks like actually those two players remain on the sideline for now. So possibly didn't get to midfield in time. So no switches yet. Seacoast just possessing here. Out to Bertos. Back to Nunn. Phantoms go back to John. Leibovitz giving chase. John sends it into the night sky. Vermont takes over possession. Ibrahim. Gets it back now in the midfield. Ibrahim. Healy trying to poke it away. Ibrahim maintains his balance. That ball rolled through. Combs giving chase. Headed back the other way by Pacella. And sent back the other direction by Rodriguez. 8 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Ibrahim turns. Out wide. This is NDA coming forward from his fullback spot. Curls one toward the back post. Headed down by the Phantoms. Good defending on the back end there from Seacoast United. It'll be a throw-in for Vermont. And a couple players shaken up in the box. One Vermont player helped to his feet. A couple Seacoast players now getting to their feet as well, including Nishikawa. And we'll see these changes now. So again, it's White and Franciosa.
For Seacoast United. Into the game, number 11, Samuel White.
Looks like they'll be replacing Rodriguez and Condi. Condi exits with the brace. Rodriguez exits with that winner on Friday night. So 2 key players on this weekend trip to Ocean City for the Phantoms. We'll watch the rest of this one from the bench, but their team leads 2-0. Vermont trying to find a way back. Big throwing up coming from the far side of the field. Sent toward the near post, knocked out for the moment. Now charging up the field are the Phantoms. Layton wins that foot race from behind, though. Plays it back to Wickham. Green have to take some chances here late. This is Thread Gold. Out wide. And DA. Again, a low driven cross. Played on. Bazzini got a touch on that. And Combe was giving chase. Couldn't get there, though, as John hustled over to grab it.
Fans can watch the match. Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access.
Big ball out of the back. Phantoms player went down, and DA has it. Leibovitz flicks it on for Thread Gold. He's cut off. Phantoms play John once more. So Seacoast United obviously content to try and just beat this pressure over the top right now, clear as many of these balls as possible. DA throws it in to Fisher. Reed Fisher curls one forward. Nobody home, but then flicked on in the box. Near chance there for Bazzini. And they're going to say goal kick. He thought for sure it was a corner. Tough to tell from this vantage point. Certainly Bazzini got a lot of it. Couldn't get all the way around the ball, though. Much to the chagrin of the Vermont supporters. Another call goes against Vermont here. Got 4.5 to go plus stoppage time. 2-0 our margin. Both goals coming in the second half. PK in the 70th minute. And Condi doubled up in the 77th minute. John booms it forward. Frankiosa plays that one across the field. Phantoms back on the ball. Boffey giving chase. Kept it in for a moment, but then lost it out. Throw in for Vermont. Chipped over the top once more. Kept in by Vermont. Thread Gold hits the deck. And now we have a yellow card coming. That's assessed to Alessandro Frankiosa.
Yellow card issued on Seacoast United, number 23, Alessandro Franciosa.
So a yellow. Now 2 yellows on the field here for Seacoast. And it'll set up a late set piece opportunity, as we do have a fan running across the field. I wouldn't call it a streak, but headed the other way. Out of camera view, of course. Not sure what that was. Shirt off, pants on, so we're going to play on here. Pacella sends one into the box. Knocked down, and then John gets on it. John came off his line, may have got a little fingertip on it, but then did well to recover. He really didn't get much of that initial ball, but it just kind of sat there for him, and then he got on it. Phantoms, long ball forward toward the corner. Healy got there. Now wasting a little bit of time in that corner. Knocked off of Vermont. And 2 more changes coming for the Phantoms here. This is what Seacoast was able to do the other night. With that lead over the Nor'easters, just kind of make some changes late, eat some clock. This will be Addison Hicks and Shun Kushima checking in here. And the night will be done for Healy.
Substitutions for Seacoast United.
I've not seen a second player come off yet.
Addison Hicks.
Looks like it'll be Makadika, the second player coming off.
Kushima.
So Healy and Makadika off. Hicks and Kushima in. So nearly every field player available for Seacoast United has entered the game. Vermont still with a couple of players available, but it is getting late. We're in the final minute of the 90, plus stoppage time. Low shot comes in off of the foot of Boffey. No problem there for Wickham. Fisher moving forward. Phantoms packing it in now. That 2-goal lead. Fisher over to Combe, headed back into the middle. Headed out for the moment. Ibrahim turns. And then a heavy touch. He lost it. Boffey giving chase. Looks like that's thread goal now over there for Vermont. Plays it back to his keeper. We'll do it again. Here's Fisher. Ball sent in. That's actually Leighton over there. Back to Fisher. Leighton chips it in with the right. Flicked on. And a good header that time. Just not enough pace on it from Bazzini. Right idea. And we've reached 90 minutes here in Ocean City. We're into stoppage time. Haven't seen any indication. Again, we haven't really had many stoppages. Desperation time for Vermont. Seacoast United can smell the conference final now. Bouncing ball for White. Played it through. Boffey, one-on-one. Back over to White. White chips it back toward the net and scores. The final nail in the coffin, courtesy of Samuel White. And surely Seacoast United will be moving on in the USL League 2 playoffs. White with the goal. It's now 3-0 with just a couple of minutes to go. You would assume, again, we did not get an indication about stoppage time, as we'll take another look here. White, very calm finish. Great effort on the backside there from Threadgold. But again, it was always desperation time for Vermont anyway, pushing numbers forward. They're opened up to some counterattacks, and Seacoast United taking advantage. Headed into the middle. John has it. Third meeting between these teams. And it certainly looks like the third victory for Seacoast United. And what's been an exciting playoff run for Vermont looks to be coming to an end here on a Sunday night in Ocean City. Green winning that play-in game against Reading at home, and then coming from behind here on Friday night. But this second half has belonged to Seacoast United. Headed out the other way. Again, we continue to play on into stoppage time here. Check of the watch from the referee. Fisher. Can Vermont find maybe a consolation goal here? That one's headed out for the moment. Seacoast couldn't keep it in, so we'll have a throw. Fisher cuts it back to the left. Fisher, low driven shot. It'll be a goal kick for Seacoast United. Now into the 4th minute of stoppage time here at Carey Stadium. And you would assume only a matter of seconds now. John will take this goal kick. Headed on from Vermont. Leibovitz hustles over to keep it in. Drills it right toward John, who will kill some time with the feet here. And now pick it up. Another check of the watch from the referee. We continue to play on here. And DA making a run. Ball never got there. Throw in for the Green. So in the end here, really quite a bit of stoppage time added. We're now into the 5th minute. Fisher, diagonal ball. John off his line. Didn't catch it cleanly, but then caught it on the way to the ground. Bazzini was lurking there. Referee says, let's go. Over to NDA. Continue to play on here. Drexler sends it across. Skips out. And that will do it. Seacoast United dominates the second half, and the Phantoms advance to the USL League 2 Conference Final. 3-0 your final score. A magical run for Vermont comes to an end here on a Sunday night in Ocean City. Clean sheet for Tobias John, a brace from Ibrahim Kondi, and a goal to seal the deal from Samuel White off the bench. So Seacoast United moves on to next weekend, and the Phantoms will play in the USL League 2 Eastern Conference Final. Vermont finishes its run here in Ocean City after a victory on Friday night over the Long Island Rough Riders. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight and all weekend long from Ocean City on the live stream. Now for the entire BFA Sports crew, our director, Jarrett Garcia, Charles Hope, and Tyrell Dunn on the cameras. I'm Mike Frankel saying so long from Ocean City. Seacoast United Phantoms moving on in the USL League 2 playoffs.